So how did you
Yeah,
get the role of Eazy-E? How did you even start auditioning for that
bro. So they sent me the self tape, right?
film?
And the self tapes are when you gotta obviously put yourself on tape
Yeah.
at home or whatever. And I was like, all right, this kind of some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So they had a casting director, a local lady named Megan Lewis, who was like, yeah, you can come to the office. We are a part of it. You know what I'm saying? So we got you. We'll take care of you. Make sure you do good on this tape. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I go there, and Megan, to be honest, bro, she's like she's super Boston. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll damn near think this lady don't like black people. How she got it? You know what I mean? But she she would always audition me and I never booked. You know what I mean? I probably read for it at least 20 times, bro, and didn't book shit. So I already go in there like, man, I'm scared to death, bro. Low key. But I went in that bitch full easy. You know what I'm saying? Wig, hat, sunglasses, everything. So I walk in and she's like, that's cute. I was like, all right. And she was like, but I'll take a picture to let them know that you went for it, but you can't you can't wear all that when you audition. Fuck. All right, man. So we do these 5 scenes, and I'm crying and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the last scene in the hospital and shit. I look up, she crying. You know what I mean? She walked me to the car and shit, double high five me and all this. She was like, I think you got a real good chance. I was like, all right. But then like mad days went past. It was like, I don't know, almost 40 days that went past. And I was just like, all right, I probably didn't get it. But one day they called me and it was like, yeah, F. Gary Gray want you to fly to LA tomorrow. I was
Tomorrow.
like, tomorrow? Exactly. A large. Like, what? What are you saying to
On
me?
your own dime.
Right. I'm like, listen, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull that off. You know what I'm saying? So they was like, all right, don't worry about it, we'll call you right back. So I was like, all right. So they called me back and they was like, yeah, he want to Skype with you. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, cool. So I went back to the same lady, back to Megan, and was like, listen, I need to make sure the internet is the best that it could be. You know what I mean? Because this is before the Wi-Fi and all of that shit. Nigga damn near still had dial up at the crib. So I'm like, all right, let me make sure this shit is hardwired. I need the fiber joints, you know what I mean, to make sure my shit ain't skipping. So she was like, all right, yeah, come back to the office. So I did it. We was on there like, I don't know, bro. I'm lying saying I don't know. It was an hour and 17 minutes. I never forget that shit. But yeah, we went through all the same scenes, you know what I mean? And just like me and you on here, all I can see is this nigga head like this. You know what I mean? Like he could, right? You know what I mean? And bro, I booked that shit right over Skype, just like that. Shit was
Mm.
crazy. My first time going to LA or to California, period, was on a first class ticket by Universal.
Right. Look,
Yeah.
and I also heard that you said you never heard the words that you got the role. So how did you even know that you was playing easier?
Bro, so my friend Mercedes Lindsay, right? She was a producer and shit. So they had me working with this guy, Aaron Spicer, who's like he like a celebrity to the celebrities. You know what I mean? He like another Susan Batson. Like they coach all the really good ass actors, right?
Mhm.
So they had me working with him. They had me doing chemistry reads with other people. So when I was about to fly back to New Orleans after that, I was like, you think I'm gonna get it? Like, because I'm thinking, the other people who trying to do easy or whatever just ain't there because I'm there. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or they already big celebrities or whatever it may be, so they don't do shit like this. I didn't know what to think. That was my first time.
Yeah.
So Mercedes was like, Jason, don't be foolish. Look around. What other Easies do you see? I was like, solid point. And she brings me into the production office. She was like, you see these pictures, these headshots? What other Easies do you see? I was like, bet. That was the closest the shit ever got, bro. She still never told me, but that was the closest it ever got. Because they ended up calling me back out and was like, yeah, we start rehearsals, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, all right, cool. But they never ever said, you booked it. You know what I mean? Which I was like, what the fuck? I'm still waiting. I should call Gary
That's what I'm
and tell
still
him about
waiting.
myself.
Years later, you got the role.
Right. That shit.
So I heard was Little Easy upset about not being in the movie, getting the role of Easy.
Um, I believe at first he probably was, because to be honest, they did a worldwide search. You know what I'm saying? So, no offense to nobody, but like, how would you feel? You know what I'm saying? If that's your pops and then they get some British nigga, you know what I mean, to come play him, then you like, what the fuck, So I feel like if anybody was gonna fuck it up, it should have been Lil Easy,
Gotcha.
right? And that was something that me and him kind of both agreed on. You know what I mean? But like instantly, as soon as I seen that shit, I forgot what it was. It was big though. It was like I don't know if it was double XL or some shit. But they had put the article out, so I'm thinking to myself, like, oh no, man, I know how this shit go. Let me get on Facebook now. You know what I mean? Figure this shit out. So I found as many family members as I could find. But me and him end up talking. He was just like, bro, he was already like when we hung up the phone, he was like, nigga, I love you. You know what I'm saying? It was like that kind of talk, you know. But he had the welcome wagon waiting on me once I got there. Me and him still we family, my nigga. That's my family now, you know.
All right.
Yeah. But he was a little crazy.
So I also look. I heard it was a drive-by shooting in the first 7 days of filming.
Bro, it wasn't even a drive by. It was a straight walk down. The shit was crazy because like we they got like a van that'll bring you to set or whatever. You know what I mean? These production shits, golf carts and whatnot. But on this particular day, like we in Compton, like it's good people. You know what I mean? We deep as a motherfucker. We like fuck it. We just gonna walk. So we start walking, and we see the street taped off, police standing out there and shit. But like that's normal for a set. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, as we walking, we like they like no, and I was clearly like in full easy. So I'm like, look, I'm part of the movie. He was like, this ain't. I was like,
he's like, oh,
all right. So them pops we just heard was a real thing. Okay, here we go. But it was like broad daylight. You know what I mean? Nigga just laid out in the street. But I think a lot of people do that. You know what I'm saying? They take advantage of people shooting movies and they do some bullshit that nobody would ever expect and run off. And by the time people realize that it's a real thing, that person is already gone. You know what I'm saying? It's actually kind of smart. I hate that we do this kind of shit, but it's actually kind of smart.
Let me blend in. No?
Yeah, they playing, right?
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. So how was it like reliving that era, like seeing through the eyes of Easy now and Dr. Dre and Ice Cube? How was it acting in this film and reliving those, bro?
It was dope as hell, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It was because for me it was the little things. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit that I didn't understand at first. Because I gotta give credit where credit's due. And my homegirl, man, Andrea, listen. She came because a couple of people got fired behind this Jerry curl, right? But she used to really have a shop on Slauson. She still got shops and shit, but she had a shop on Slauson, and somebody who really knew was like, nah, we need to go get her. You know what I'm saying? So they make me this wig that's like 17,000, and it was real human hair, so she had to fit it on me, then process it. So the whole time she processing it, and like we having this talk, I'm like, why did niggas even wear this? Like, what was going through your head to make you say I want a curl? And she was like, shit, if you had a curl, that mean you had money. And I was like, I get it now. You know what I mean? So it was like the small things that was adding something to everything that I was doing. You know what I mean? And it was just dope because like Easy is one of the few people who ain't alive. A lot of them is alive. You know what I mean? So like there was times like when I met Layla, God rest his soul. When I met him, bro, they had like 10 buds outside my trailer. I'm looking at these niggas like, you know what I mean? I open my trailer, smoke coming out that motherfucker. I'm like, man, who the fuck? And it's him in there on the laptop talking about, man, what up, nephew? Ooh, looking like, who is this nigga, man? You know what I mean? But he was somebody who really, really ran with Easy, really had love for Easy. You know what I'm saying? And he told me all the real stories. So to get all of that love and respect from people who loved and respected him was, man, that shit was big, bro. That shit was big.
So how did you feel when you went to the premiere? You got to see it on the big screen.
Man, look. First of all, they did it all the way right because it was a black carpet event, not a red carpet event.
Okay.
So aside from just the actors, they got all the music people who showed up. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit was dope as fuck, bro. Like it was just another level. But I was also on my business game that night too. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, this gonna be because I knew I had done my shit for sure. I'm like, I killed this. I know for sure this about to change my life. So all the tickets that I couldn't give to family that they gave to me, I was like, listen, who can we give these bitches to who could give a nigga a job? You know what I'm saying? Because so that's kind of how that went. You know what I mean? But like, dog, I met everybody that night. Every big star you could think of, I met that night. And it was funny because when I first met Snoop, like mind you, biggest business night of my life, right? But I like to enjoy a little chronic from here and there. You know what I mean? So this is the biggest business night of my life, and I obviously I'm thinking this about to be a party. Soon as the after party, like it's about to be lit. This shit about to be crazy. It was not like that at all. It was just a bunch of shaking hands and talking to people and blah 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 da, da, da. And in my mind, I'm like, man, I just really want to get out of this fucking suit and go with my friends and my family and just go enjoy this shit. So I see these huge security guards walking up to me. It's like 6 of them. Like, man, what the fuck? And then they just peel open. You know what I mean? And it's Snoop. You feel me? He still had tears in his eyes and shit. And he talking, he smoking, and I'm like, he was like, "You smoke?" I was like, "Yes."
Yes.
Thank you, sir. So we both smoking, crying. You know what I mean? Like, because he was telling me, like, he just never would have got the opportunity to see things from Eazy's perspective if I wouldn't have brought it like I brought it. You know what I mean? And I was just like, damn, bro, I really appreciate that. But yeah, man, it was a lot of love, bro. It was a lot of love in there that night.
That's good. Okay. And also you was on